Hey guys, and welcome back. This is part 2 of the work in progress on my FX Kitbash I've been working on. Now, in my last video, I went over the different kits that have been added into this, and this originally, of course, did not start out as a kitbash. It was just going to be a build and a custom paint, so you can tell I got a little carried away. But as you see, I got them primed. So today, one of the good aspects about priming your kits is also being able to take the time to look at all the separate parts and go over and see if there's any mistakes, especially if you've had to mod or you might have sanded a spot too much and left a gouge or something like that. This is a good time to make any second go-overs and correct any issues. And also it's another way to make you feel like you are lacking as a modeler. But anyways, we'll go over some of the things that I've missed and some issues that I'll need to touch up as we go here. And we'll get into that, and then of course you see the paint in the background. We'll be going over some of that as well. And then kind of got two different color schemes I might go with, and I guess you probably really won't know until you see the last video of this kit. But let's get into this thing. We can kind of go over some of the parts, and I'll show you some of the obvious mistakes or some of the things I missed as I was doing this. Don't know how else will show up on the camera here, but you see where I use a little bit of putty to kind of shape and mold and fill in this areas here where these parts were cut and fitted for this. And as you can see, hopefully, my fingerprint got stuck in the putty. I probably forgot to sand that completely. So that's got my fingerprint, and I'm going to just need to sand that down, smooth it out, so it'll be ready for paint here after a while. And then another thing, if you see my last video, I did talk about filling in some of these panel lines I had done. There was one that went up and across through here, and I just thought it started to look a little too busy, so I decided to fill them in with some, to me, a simple putty. And you see right there is a little black spot right there, and that's where some of the putty didn't quite fill in. There's a little gap there still from that panel line that I scribed in. So a little bit more putty there will help take care of that. And there's a few spots here where my chisel slipped when I was doing some scribe work that I missed. Need to sand that down, maybe add a little bit of putty, but I think just some extra sanding right there will take care of that spot as well. And you can see back through here, like right here, these are all three separate pieces that are all been bonded together, and making sure the connection, the glue line and everything seems nice and clean, and it's not too bad at all. Maybe sand a little bit more around this one over here. And then something I missed as well is this black spot right here at the end of the leg here, if I got it right on the camera. That is actually a little saw mark from when I originally was cutting this piece up. So I missed that, so I'll probably throw a little bit of putty in that as well and sand that down and take care of that. You see some of the extra detail I've done. Like, I don't think I had this done the last time, the back skirt scribed. Oh, and then of course I almost forgot, I redid the cuffs and puttied these in. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably would have seen that, but might sand a little bit more right in through here where it meets up with the original parts, just to kind of clean that up just a little bit, make it a little bit smoother transition. And another thing is to notice some detail that you might want to add to a kit when you've primed it. And you can take a look, because if you see here across the chest here, there's a little bit of detail panel line that runs across here, and they're real shallow panel lines, and these are lines that are originally on the kit. And they are, with the primer and everything, and with the sanding, of course, after scribing and everything, they have gotten much shallower. So I'm going to actually scribe these lightly and bring back a little bit of the definition of these, because now you can realize about how much of the detail you lost when you sanded all that down once you primed it. Now there is one simple thing that I missed on this that I can actually clean up while we're here on the video. I think it was this one. No, this one right here. Here on the backpack, these four wings here. Pull this one off, and will you just sit somewhere gently? Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about here. There's the mold line that runs down the back of this wing right here, all the way down it. And I got the other three, got them sanded down, but I must have missed this one. So simple. We'll just get my sanding sticks out, and we'll go over this right here and just smooth that out real quick, and then that'll take care of that issue. We'll just fold that out a little bit out of the way. Probably want these two sanding sticks, kind of start at the higher grit. These sticks, I love these things. They're fairly cheap. I mean, this one comes with a couple of grits. Got a rougher one, a little bit smoother. Then of course a much finer grit right here. So we'll just kind of start here at the top with the rougher one. And don't feel too bad about the fact that you're sanding away your priming, because this is just a good way to make sure everything before you go all in and put so much work into a paint job that everything is perfect and ready. So in the long run, extra work, you're kind of taking a step back on your progress, but in the end it'll make your kit and your work and everything so much more worth it. Let's go down through here because it's very simple. Now this kit I did airbrush prime it, which was first time doing that with my airbrush, was priming this way. Usually I've been using rattle cans, which honestly is not bad. I actually enjoyed it. I was able to get in a lot more areas, kind of better coat everything. But I am always going to keep a couple of cans of primer on hand. That way, like for parts like this, there's no point me loading the airbrush up for one or two parts that I needed to fix a little something on. But be able to just quickly take the can and just spray it real quick and touch it up. And then you're all set to go. Instead of having to mix a whole new set of primer and everything. And then one more time with the finer grit. I have no idea what grade of grit these are. They just kind of label them as coarse, medium, and fine. And there, you can see you got rid of that mold line. That's all gone, so this will just take a quick little spray with the can, reprime it, and then it'll be ready to paint. So we'll set that off to the side now. Now we'll kind of go over my thoughts on the color scheme for this. Either color scheme I end up choosing to go with is I'm going to be using a couple different techniques that I've never tried before, so it'll be something fun and interesting to see how it turns out. Now my first thoughts were, let's see, we'll set those to the side. These two colors, of course, are going to be naturally used. This is Mission Models white, and they're light gold gray, so this a little bit of contrast along with the white that'll be on the armor of the kit. Then of course the frame, trusty old gunmetal, can't go wrong with that. It works pretty well. This is just a color I like that I'm going to use like for the eyes and the cameras and things. I figured this is a great color for that. It is a iridescent turquoise. Thought this would work well for that sort of thing on this kit. Now, if I go with this color scheme bit over here, I'm going to use, for a little bit of extra color and pop, I was going to use this iridescent plum purple for a little bit of color tossed in here and there. Places like possibly the backs of the forearms on here and a little bit here and there. Just to add a little something extra to it, if I go with this color scheme. Now, the new technique I was thinking about trying was I have flat aluminum here, a nice metallic color, and then I have the clear blue, which I was going to use this as the base, and then go over it with the clear blue to try to get I'm not sure what exactly to call it, but something different. I've seen it done somewhere, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Now, if I don't go this color scheme, which these right here will all be used, but I want to use this, kind of in the place where I'd use the blue and the aluminum, I'm thinking about using the gold leaf here, to me a gold leaf, and also using a clear orange on it. And going over it a little bit, kind of give it that maybe a rose gold sort of color to it. This is what I'm hoping for. It doesn't mean it'll turn out that way. And also going with this color scheme I have ordered, and it should be in the next day or two, is a clear smoke. And I'm thinking about, if I go this color scheme, I'll do the technique with that, and then I'll also, on the parts that I would do purple, I will do the flat aluminum with the clear smoke color over it. The same way I'd be doing that, or the blue here. Still not fully decided. I'll have to tinker a little bit, spray a few spoons, kind of decide on what I like and see how it goes. And I guess y'all probably won't really get to know what color scheme I choose until the final video on this. So with saying that, that's about all I've got to go over on this one. Just kind of quick overview of what's about to happen next, a few different things about priming and being able to see your kit and go over things. Now naturally you don't always have to assemble your kit after you prime it to find your flaws. I did that just for the video's sake. Typically, I just go by each part individually. I look it over and then just fix what I need to at that point. So that's an unnecessary step. I just done that to show y'all everything, and plus, to be honest, it does actually look pretty cool when it's all primed up and together. Alright, now that's enough about my kit. Y'all won't get to see anything else on it until the finished product. But I did want to let y'all know there's a friend of mine on Twitter, Miniaturite, and he's doing a little contest. Very simple. You'll pick a high grade, and you have until the end of the month to get it completed. And it doesn't matter what level of skill you are in doing model kits or anything. If you're just a snap builder, they're going to judge you on, nub removal and things of that like. And if you're going to go with full paint and decals, they're going to judge you on the smoothness and the consistency of your paint and the placement of your decals. So any level of skill that you have, you're more than welcome to join. I'm going to leave a link in the description below and a link to his Twitter so you can join the competition, and you can also find him on Twitter and follow him. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit him up. He can give you any info you need. And he should, on his Twitter page, have, the links or whatever as well, and some of the rules and everything that's kind of expected from the contest. And, of course, the rules and things will also be in the link for the entry down below. You'll have a little form to fill out. Real simple. And everybody, y'all just take it easy and have fun. Hope to see your entries into the contest, because I'll be joining as well. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. Later.